I've never seen a reaction like the day that I was filming with the Sidemen and we were next to a school and they let the school out for break. And it was like I was with the Beatles.
You've even got a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So you're doing all of this shit. Like, I've got a YouTube channel. I didn't mean shit. Like, it's all just terrible.
Spreading yourself thin. Bit of this, bit of that. Dipping your toe.
I've got a YouTube channel and a podcast, and I mean, I barely upload to my YouTube channel. Like, I struggle to juggle all of those kind of different things. But you're doing all the things we just mentioned, and on top of that, you've got a YouTube channel, and on top of that, you've done plenty of collabs with other YouTubers that you've worked with. Deadgy, Sidemen.
Yeah, but I think YouTube, my like foray into doing YouTube, I definitely realised how that is something of all of them really, where you have to kind of fully commit to it, and you do, and I found that quite overwhelming. That thing of, you know, having to create content and never taking your foot off the accelerator. And for, you know, someone that works a lot, I as I say, I kind of tend to flit around, and I definitely felt like when I did it, I kind of sort of dipped my toe into the water, and I loved doing it and I really enjoyed it, but I did find it quite overwhelming that you'd have to just like make sure that you kept, you know, doing the content and kept putting that stuff out there, and maybe for me I then drifted off and went and did another project and maybe neglected my YouTube channel for a bit, and the minute you do that, then you kind of see, you know, the returns diminishing a bit, so which is why I have, you know, huge admiration for you guys, because you have to maintain it and you have to keep providing good high quality content, and I think that is something that I genuinely did not realize as much when I started doing it. And now I do, which is why I think probably, you know, I've loved having a YouTube channel and I've loved doing it, but I just don't know whether I would, you know. I think that's why the best YouTubers are the ones that are YouTubers
that are consistent with it.
and it doesn't work when a celebrity or an actor or a comedian goes, "Oh, I'm just going to dip in and try this, or I'm going to do that." Yeah, like the best creators are the creators. Yeah, they're the YouTubers.
But you say that, and you are right. But I think you've made quite a successful, not transition, because obviously you're still doing other things. But like, I've found that a lot of sort of mainstream celebrities and actors and comics that have turned their hand to YouTube, they're not fit for it. They're not fit for that. But you really have kind of gone sort of head first. You've worked with a number of YouTubers. You worked with our friend StephenTries.
I love StephenTries.
Done bits here and there. Yeah. How did you first become aware of it? Because I find that a lot of more, if you don't mind me calling you like a mainstream kind of celebrity, they find the two worlds very separate. So do you know what I mean? Like, so how did you come aware of?
I don't know. I'm not certain I can remember how I became aware of it, but I certainly like am aware of, you know, from the more mainstream side of it, like the kind of like slight prejudices people have when they look over at YouTube. And I definitely think I probably like 5, 6, 7 years ago would have been one of those people and wouldn't have really fully understood the kind of YouTube community and thought, oh, it's just people videoing themselves playing FIFA. Yeah. And then you find stuff and discover it, and like creators like StephenTries, I think he's brilliant, and the quality of the kind of comedy that puts out there is, you know, it's so good. And as good as any comedian in kind of like mainstream comedy. And yourself, who I slid into your DMs whenever it was, because someone sent me videos of you, and I'd never seen your stuff before, and I loved it. And I was like, this guy could be a stand-up, and you have that kind of, it's like your rage is just so funny, and it's not something that I'd ever seen on YouTube, and I didn't even know that was a thing that was there. My idea of what YouTube was something completely different. It was the heavily lit people talking about makeup or FIFA. Yeah. And then I saw you and I was like, oh wow. And then you kind of enter into it and you see that there is so much more to it. Yeah. Which is why when people go, what do you think of YouTubers, or what do you think of YouTube? It's like you can't really ask that question. It's like, what do you think of music? It's like there's so many different creators and genres, and that's something I only really understood when I kind of took a deeper dive into it. Fair play.
My next question was, what do you think of YouTubers? Just scrambling around for another one now, but no.
I mean, I had some great experiences collaborating with a lot of those people that you mentioned. The Sidemen, I loved working with those guys and had heard about them before and did some stuff with them and you know, they have that thing that when I did that show League of Their Own, everyone always said the great thing about League of Their Own is not the games or the questions or the show, it's just the chemistry of the
100%.
4 people on it, and we were all mates and we all knew each other and we all had like different points of attack and different in-jokes and chemistry, and it just worked, and it only worked because of that. And then I did those shows and videos with the Sidemen, and I saw them and I was like, that's what they have, and it just works. It's not something that you can cheat, it's not something that you can manufacture. It's like gold dust, and it's the thing that every TV producer, every show is trying to manufacture. They're trying to take these people and put them together and create that thing that you can't, like, there's no formula for it. And the Sidemen have it because they are best mates and they live together, and you can feel that in everything that they do, and it just works on so many levels because of that. They can do, and they proved that you can do anything, and it's funny because that's what you're watching their chemistry. And I had no idea at all of the level of kind of fame as well, and people had said it, and I'd kind of got a gauge of it. And I've worked with some people, you know, who are very, very famous, and I've been out and about with people that are very, very famous. And I've said this, and I've been like One Direction or The Rock, and I have honestly, even compared to them, I have never seen a reaction like the day that I was filming with the Sidemen, and we were next to a school, and they let the school out for break, and it was like I was with the Beatles.
Wow.
They were like streaming over to like the gates, and they were like, you know, like this mob of children like shoved up against the gates, and the teachers trying to get them. Like, they literally turned an entire school like feral with excitement.
That's mad,
and
isn't it?
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's crazy.
They were so chilled about it as well. Simon was like, yeah.
That's some Simon up, to be fair. we filmed close to here, actually, in Highbury once, and we was filming with Hector Bellerin, and I was trying to think when you were telling the story. It was another YouTuber there, who I can't remember off the top of my head now, but we were filming at like a goals 5-a-side pitch, and there was all these kids lined up on the side, and I swear to God, we're in North London, and Bellerin plays for Arsenal, and they're shouting the YouTuber's name. It may have even been Toby, I can't remember, but it is insane, isn't it? What, as somebody who's worked with more mainstream celebs and YouTubers, is there quite a contrast in working with them kind of people, or are they just similar but on different platforms, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really ever come into contact with any like egos or anyone that was difficult to work with, which definitely I have done on the other side of things.
Oh, okay.
I think I only really had, you know, not often, to be fair, but like I found most of the people that I work with like really easy to work with and very, very nice, and you know, friendly. I found it kind of slightly strange, like adapting from the way in which I work to maybe the way in which I did that show on YouTube.
What are you talking? Training days?
Doing training days.
Yeah, I loved that, by the way. That was really good.
I loved doing it. It was so much fun. But actually, I think it was Simon who I got on with him so well, and I remember he told me when we were filming, he was like, "You just need to not take it to heart if something doesn't land, because sometimes it's not about the quality of the content that you've put out. You may have just messed it up because of the thumbnail or the description, and that's just not something that I would even be aware of. So you know, it was quite a steep learning curve for me that was the case.
I mean, I've been doing it 12 years, and I can never tell what's going to do well and what's not going to do well.